So I have 4 great adult children.
Awesome.
He's definitely in the community. He did run for Senate 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So he was.
Let's talk about the founding of the Distinguished Gentlemen's Club.
Absolutely. So about 8 years ago.
You said you're a mother. So how many children?
I have 5 children.
Okay.
They started saying that I was their African American, and they got this from our president. You know, they were voted by.
So what were you doing with your child? The first or the second time? Before the first time.
So I was in and out.
Good. Awesome. So that really is a great place to transition.
And who is sitting across from me or beside me is never going to sway that.
Listen, man. One, I'm not gonna cry on this episode.
Yeah.
I made it through all of these episodes. I think I've cried once in Congress. What are the things that you're most proud of accomplishing? You know, as a congressman and as whip.
Real Talk with ReZsaun.
Yo, what's up? Hello, world. Welcome back. Y'all already know what time it is. It's Wednesday night at 7 p.m., so it must be Real Talk with ReZsaun. Hello, world, and welcome back to Real Talk with ReZsaun. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. I am your host, ReZsaun Lewis. Now, here on Real Talk with ReZsaun, everyth's debatable, so in any given week, we could be discussing anything from sports to music to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now, for those who are new to this Real Talk with ReZsaun, we also have a goal of shining a light on the great things and the great people that live right here in the Low Country and beyond. But tonight, I gotta stop the presses tonight. Tonight is a real talk first. Tonight, we have our first Grammy Award-winning artist. Give it up. Where's my applause button? We have our first Grammy Award winner. Tonight, we have the illustrious, the glamorous, the one and only Ranky Tanky's own Miss Kiana Parlour. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you great.
So I don't need my earbuds or anything.
Oh, you sound great. You sound awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining me. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, I've been in the house hiding.
Yeah, right. That's been the list for like the last 9 months.
It's been a while. But I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Awesome.
So
So
first time doing this, so we're still learning over here how to get all of this stuff together.
well, you're doing great so far. So you're batting 1,000 with me.
Huh?
I said you're batting 1,000 with me, so you're good to go.
Okay. All right.
Introduce yourself to the audience for those who may not know you.
My name is Kiana Parler. I am the lead vocalist in Ranky Tanky, and we've been together. It's been 4 years now. I'm from Harleyville, South Carolina. Actually. But I've been in Charleston since 97. Yeah, 97. So this is home for me.
All right. Well, thank you.
This is home base here.
Okay, so you're originally from Harleyville, though.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Harleyville, Ridgeville.
Okay, word. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about your journey because you've accomplished quite a few things. I mean, even outside of Ranky Tanky. So let's go a little bit further. I like to slow walk the background journey and get to the right now, if you don't mind. Tell us a little bit about your childhood, if you don't mind.
Oh Lord. I started singing in Charleston when I was 9 years old. I studied at the Dock Street Theater with June Bonner. And from there, she opened up the Coconut Club, and I would do the gospel jazz brunch on Sundays during Spoleto. And after that, I did that for a few years. And I went on to join the cast of Serenade at the age of, I actually started at 14, but I caught the chicken pox the first week I was supposed to start. So I didn't really start until I was 15. Mm-hmm. So I was at Serenade until college.
Wow.
When the Serenade closed down. And that's when I ended up at, I moved to Texas for a little bit. I was trying to do some other hip hop type stuff that we won't talk about. But my time in Houston was amazing. But back here for Mitchell's on the Market. And that's how I ended back up in Charleston.
Okay,
Yeah.
So pause. We got to pause real quick. Were you rapping?
No, but I was in some rap camps.
Okay.
That's
All right.
still, like, you know, it's full circle now because back then, if I was just, I had a great manager then. I actually met her at Serenade and I moved with her to Houston. And she had me in circles of some pretty big wigs that back then I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But when I see them on like DJ Vlad and the Breakfast Club and stuff like that, I'm like, wow, I had no idea back then I was surrounded by these people who were just making music, hanging out. So,
Wow. So one, based on what you just said, I think I know exactly who you're talking about. And two, I know enough about who you're talking about to not mention any names. So we're going to keep it rolling.
yeah, thank you.
We're going to keep that rolling, but that's pretty dope to know. I didn't know that.
You know, that's the first time I've ever talked about that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Exclusive. That's what's up. So you came back to Charleston. So what brought you back to Charleston?
When Taras Cavallo, he was the MD for this band Brazil, which was Quentin Baxter, Kevin Hamilton, and Mark Serbank. They were opening a club here called Mitchell's on the Market, and they were looking for a Brazilian jazz band. And I didn't speak Spanish or Portuguese, but I learned it by just hearing it. So I would sing all these Latin songs and songs in Portuguese and Spanish, but was failing Spanish in college because it was lingos, you know? So yeah, but I have no problem singing in Spanish or Portuguese. That's not a problem for me. But to speak it, no.
Okay. And so you went to, so where'd you go to college?
College of Charleston.
Oh, go Cougs all day.
Yeah.
I too am a College of Charleston grad. What was your major?
I didn't graduate. I left the college when I auditioned for American Idol.
Cool. Great transition. See, I just wrote that down on my paper. So let's talk about going through Idol, because everybody talks about, American Idol. And you were on the first season.
Second season,
because you were in the Clay Aiken season.
Yeah.
Clay Aiken and Ruben. Because the first season was Justin Guarini and Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
All right. So people talk about, American Idol, in that process. Can you talk about the process that it took just getting on the show?
Oh, Lord. Well, back then when I auditioned, I actually auditioned in Charlotte. My friend Tanya told me about the audition one night when I was at Mitchell. She called me about it. And then I had another friend, Tanya Stokes from Mount Pleasant, who stood in line for me until I got off from Mitchell's to stand in line in Charlotte. But they were only picking one winner in Charlotte. And I was actually the winner from Charlotte. So if you won Charlotte, you got a golden ticket to not stand in those long lines that you guys see on television.
Yeah.
So I got to skip all of that. I've never stood in line. So I cannot tell you what that experience is like because I have no idea.
Wow.
Yeah. So from there, we went to Atlanta. And from Atlanta, we went to, they call it Hollywood, but it was actually Glendale, California. Yeah. So I don't even think I got to see the Hollywood sign when I was there.
Wow.
So yeah.
And how far did you make it?
My room was the last room to get cut before the actual show started when they hit the stage. So you know how they come in each room and say, I'm sorry, my room was the last room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I made friends, really good friends with Clint Aiken there.
Yeah, but how was the getting cut part for you? Because you're like a really great vocalist. So how was that?
You know what? For me, it didn't hurt me because I still have a lot of these kids and contestants, this is all that they have, audition.
Yeah.
If they don't make it on the show, that's the end of the rope for them.
Yeah.
That journey. But for me, I got the opportunity to go back to Mitchell's and still sing 3-4 nights a week. So I was still, and walking in my journey, my purpose before Idol,
Nice.
That was my first talent competition ever.
Wow.
So I didn't know, not at all. I had so much other stuff going on at home personally, and that was Mitchell's. American Idol was a piece of cake, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so while you were there, you definitely met Clay Aiken because you ended up backing Clay Aiken.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that end up happening?
We ended up being friends in Atlanta because he remembered me from the Charlotte audition, and we were two Southerners, and we just clicked. And Ruben was there. It was all like this big singing room full of singers, and
Yeah.
and I was the two Southerners together. And after I left, I saw him on Ellen, and we were on AOL Messenger. You remember that? They had AOL Messenger.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, whatever. And I was like, oh, I just saw you on Ellen, and your background singer has the same hairstyle that I have. And he was like, oh, really? You want to come on the road with me? And I was like, what? Okay, yeah. And then I didn't hear from him for maybe a month or two.
Mhm.
And then I got a call from Randy Jackson's assistant. He was the MD for the tour. And she was from James Island, his assistant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a small world.
Yeah.
And, they flew me out. I thought I was flying out just to hang out with my friend and to meet his people. And I ended up being on Jay Leno twice that week. I didn't bring any makeup, I didn't bring anything. I was just like, I'm just going out here to hang out. And I ended up doing Jay Leno twice that week. One night with Clay and then one with Kelly.
Wow.
So I was on the road for about 10 years.
With Clay and Kelly?
Yeah, 10 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. What was that like? So now I got it. So now I got to get. I'm not going to get into you like the road stories, but I got to know like what is the most memorable thing that happened while you were touring with Clay and Kelly?
Well, you know, Clay's a prankster, so there was always pranks on the road. Some of these pranks are so bad I can't even discuss these pranks. They were really, really bad and graphic. But Clay also, like, he's my best friend. He's my son's godfather.
Wow.
He surprised me. I was obsessed with The Guiding Light when I was pregnant with Chamberlain. And he surprised me with an on-set. We did a walkthrough with the cast and crew of The Guiding Light. That was like the biggest thing for me. And meeting Martha Stewart, because for my graduation list, I only wanted Martha Stewart towels from Kmart. So that was... That's a Martha Stewart. So I got to meet Martha Stewart, and we did the Martha Stewart show like right when she got out of prison.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a whole other big moment for me. But it's just so many road stories that we just don't talk about. But,
absolutely.
But it was fun. You know, I don't know what people imagine. Live on a bus with 10, 12 people. It becomes a way of life.
Yeah.
You know, even when I got home off the road, I'm still retraining my body till this day from not being on the road because I was on the road for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the road that's my home, actually, being on the road.
Wow. Okay. So you're actually like, I mean, shoot, if you toured with Clay for 10 years and you've definitely been doing, you know, the shows, Serafina and all those different shows. So you've really been gone more than you've been here.
Yeah, this is the longest I've been home. Yeah, in a long time.
Wow. Okay. So I also know you did a lot of gigging. So you did Mitchell's here, but where else did you like perform like locally? Did you perform here like anywhere in Charleston frequently?
When I started the party band, we would do Trio Club, and I tried to keep the band exclusive to not running all over town and playing from spot to spot because that takes away from the exclusivity of the band.
Yeah.
And we mainly specialized in weddings and corporate events.
Mm-hmm.
So you could only see Kiana Parlour and friends at Trio.
Yeah.
You know, we saw some maybe Wild Wings once every 6 months or once a year, twice a year. That was about it. But I got into the wedding business, which is a very lucrative business here because it's number 1, number 2 destination wedding location.
Yeah.
Providing a very good life for me and my son. Yeah, so I came off the road and I did that. I think I came off the road for 3 or 4 years, maybe about 4 years. And then I went to beauty school because I've always wanted to go to beauty school. And that's when I got a call to go back out with Kelly and Maroon 5, which is this flag right here. That was in 2013.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was one of the top grossing shows of 2013, tours of 2013.
Wow.
So I went to beauty school and I went back on the road. And then when I came back off the road with Kelly, I got a call about this band that Clay and Quentin, they had already started, which was, I didn't know the name of the band, but Clay talked a good game. And I was like, we'll see. And he went away for a few months too, and he came back with these songs, and Ranky Tanky formed from there.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that again, you know what? You could actually host this show because you're doing a great job of transitions. I was gonna get there, but you walking me there, and I'm enjoying the journey. I am enjoying. I feel like I'm a part of Kiana and Friends.
All right, well, you know, that's why I said fun. Everybody's
So let's talk about Ranky Tanky. Where did the idea for Ranky Tanky come from?
Clay Ross. I don't know if many people remember Clay Ross. He was in a band with Charlton and Kevin and I think Quentin. I can't even remember the band name right now. Lord, I'm drawing a blank. But they started Ranky Tanky without me, and they did the same arrangements instrumentally. And I don't know how that went, but they wanted to bring in a female vocalist, and that's how I got the call, you know. But the funny thing is, before he called me, before all of that happened, I remember saying to my boyfriend one day, I said, I feel like there's something bigger in me that I want to do, you know, in addition to the weddings and the corporate events, like, because it's always been so hard for me to decide on what type of solo album I would do, because I like to sing everything. And
yes. I
don't want to sing about breakups and just love. I want to, you know, and difference. It was hard to put me in a specific genre.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest thing. So Clay calling me and Ranky Tanky and the background, the meaning of Ranky Tanky and what our mission is, I feel like that's what that feeling I was having for a few weeks or months was about. My purpose was Ranky Tanky, because I feel like, I like to say, we play music with a purpose.
Yeah.
You know? And this is where I'm at.
And so you spoke about, you know, the mission of the group. It's not often that you hear people talk about the mission of an entertainment group. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We had a mission statement. It was to spread the Gullah culture beyond the South. You know, Clay was on the road. He had a band, and he toured all over the world with his band, and nobody was representing the Gullah culture. And where the idea came for him. He's like, everybody else's cultures are being, you know, highlighted and celebrated, but nobody's celebrating the Gullah culture, which is pretty much the root of all music.
Yeah.
Gullah music, you know, and that's where the idea came from. And we and the funny part is, we'd all play together in a band together at some point. You know, I met Quentin when I was a preteen, and I met Charlton through Quentin because they were working at Millennium Music together. They were roommates, and Charlton and Quentin gave me my first puppy when I was a teenager. It just all comes full circle. And I played my first wedding with Clay on an island. So it all comes back full circle that we're all back together, and we won this Grammy together. Like, yeah.
So before we even get to the Grammy, because I want to get to the Grammy, because we're gonna talk about winning a Grammy. We're gonna talk about that.
Okay.
How long were you guys together before you? Because Good Time is your second album, correct?
Yeah, that's the second album.
All right. So how long were you guys together before you recorded the second album?
2 years. Yeah, maybe two and a half years. Yeah.
And what was that like developing the sound that would become Ranky Tanky? Because y'all have distinct, the one thing listening to y'all's music, one, it stands out, you know, from traditional styles of music when you think about, you know, what you hear on, you know, the radio or whatever. But there's also two distinct style of voices between you and the male singer who sings lead a lot. Yeah. How did y'all develop that balance?
I think first of all, we're family first, and we went into this contractually. We are a family first, and, you know, business second. But when you go in with people that you have respect for, and we've all played together so long in some shape or form, it just meshed together.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big distinctive sound from the first album to the second album, because I think once we made that first record, we kind of found our way in which direction we wanted to go.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a better understanding of what I wanted melodically, you know, for myself with the next album, which, you know, some of the songs I came up with was in soundcheck or in my sleep, which that song was coming to me in my dreams for some reason. I don't know why. But I just think we were on the same wavelength and it just meshed and went together.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how well did your first album do, like sales wise? I didn't look that up.
The album went number one on iTunes, Amazon. I can't remember. Oh, Billboard. We're number one on Billboard, Amazon, and iTunes, and that was because of Terry Gross on NPR, Fresh Air. Her producer heard our album somehow, and they called us to come on the show. And once we went on Fresh Air, and she has millions of followers, and the album shot at number one. So we owe a lot of this to Terry Gross from Fresh Air, who's actually became our friend now. But it was because of Fresh Air. Like just watching the release of the album and where we were before the NPR went live to see 10, 9, 8 to number one. It was amazing.
Wow, y'all had a Billboard #1 album. That's amazing.
We were on contemporary and the jazz chart, and then the second album we were on 3. We were on the gospel chart. We were on the regular jazz chart and contemporary jazz chart, Amazon and iTunes. Yeah, so.
How was that different for you? Like, because you were with Clay and Kelly and on these big tours, but you were playing a support role. With Ranky Tanky, you were taking the lead. How was that different for you?
The blessing for me when I was on the road with Kelly and Clay, they still gave us featured solo parts. So we still were able to get featured as well, and also support them. But I learned a lot of business from Clay. A lot of my business sense and the industry stuff is between James Foster and Clay Aiken. That's where my business sense comes from in the music industry. Had it not been for James Foster, who's David Foster's sister, I would never gotten to work with David in the studio as well. So a lot of things that business-wise that I bring to the table with this band has been because of me being on the road and observing and what I've lived and gone through on the road.
Yeah.
So it all worked out. I think it was supposed to work like that.
Yeah, and it always does. All things work together.
But I will say this: I don't know how major artists are able to juggle the business, the music, family, and stress. That's been kicking my butt.
Yeah.
For the past 4 years. I think I do more business. I think people think, oh, she's home, she's not doing anything. But we're constantly doing business all day. Like my phone will go off in the middle of the night, because my manager, they're on the West Coast. We're on the East Coast. So there's a lot going on that we don't even discuss business-wise. I've never had to make some of the decisions and answer so many questions I never had to answer before as a background vocalist, So that's been the struggle for me, being a single parent and the business side. It's been hard. The performing part is easy. It's the business side. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's get to it now. So you're with Ranky Tanky, 2 years in, y'all record the album Good Time. When you were recording the album, did y'all say to yourselves, this is the one?
You know what? After we finished and we had our family come in and listen to the finalized product, it felt different from the first album. It felt like we got something here. I can't even describe it. Like just hearing it in a studio, full sound, and we recorded one of the songs we did with all of our friends, our kids, and family in the studio, which is called Green Sally. And we had a listen back after that, and it just felt different, very different. I can't even describe it. It just felt like, wow, this may be bigger than we imagined. For us musically, we didn't go into the studio with the intentions of winning a Grammy or any award. We went into the studio with the intentions of making good music for our people and beyond.
Yeah.
So I think when you do that, you don't go into the studio with like, oh, I'm gonna make an album that's gonna bust the head wide open, you know, or win a Grammy or an award or just to get more followers. We went into the studio to make good music as a unit and as a family, and that's what we came out with.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I mean, I think you're absolutely right. So many times, you know, especially now, like everybody's mimicking somebody else's sound. So it's like, I want a song like Drake, or I want a song like Rihanna. I want a song like Beyonce. But the thing that I really do appreciate about, you know, you guys as a group is that you identify yourselves as like this like y'all are like Megatron. Y'all like the Megatron of music, and that y'all come together to tell this story of the Gullah Geechee culture in Charleston. And by doing that, not trying to say, hey, let's make an album that's going to win awards, y'all did it. So y'all get the call that you're nominated. I don't want to go. I like to slow walk things. I'm a slow walker. So y'all get the call that you're nominated. What was that like?
Did we hear it on the Today Show, or did we hear it on, or did we see it online? I can't remember. But me and Charlton, we saw it first. Quentin was still in the bed. And Clay was actually touring a school with his daughter. So he was meeting with this school, and his phone was blowing up because, of course, I'm all excited, and I can't even describe it. It was surreal because knowing that you made it that far, but knowing what the next process is even scarier.
Yeah,
because it's an award show amongst your peers. Like everybody's in the industry that's voting for you. It's not just like, you know, when you watch TV, you dial in and vote for American Idol or The Voice. These are industry people who listen to your music and they appreciate and like what you do. So that's a major, major honor for us, you know. Yeah. So now I get to vote for people that I love and like, and just the behind the scenes stuff. I'm glad to be a part of the Academy.
Yeah. Wow. So y'all get the call. You're there because you have to go. Isn't it in California, right? It's Los Angeles that the Grammys are in?
Yeah.
So you get to Los Angeles and you find out that you win. What walk me through it.
Well, when we first found out we won, when they said Good Time, we didn't move because we were like, who the hell is Good Time? Because we were Ranky Tanky. We were like, what? Good Time. It was like, oh, that's us. It was all running. It was like, who is Good Time? We was waiting to hear Ranky Tanky. And Esperanza Spalding announced our category, which is funny because Quentin had just introduced her here in Charleston for Spoleto. So so he had just seen her here for Spoleto to have her introduce us, and it was just all full circle. It was like, who is Good Time? Like we were just sitting there like, what? Good Time?
Who won? We did.
That's when I took off running down the aisle. Charlton and Quentin and Clay went one way, and Charlton hugged Clay, but he punched him in the mouth. So Clay ends up on stage with a bloody lip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I put too much lotion on the bottom of my feet by accident that morning. So I was miserable in my heels. Like it was hilarious. Y'all don't even know. Like it was hilarious. Like Charlton glasses was fogging up while he was reading the speech. It was hilarious. But you know, it happened so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some Lil Nas X. Like so many people won before us. I don't even remember. All I remember is Lil Nas X and his pink outfit. I don't remember who was before us. I know Chick Corea performed before they announced our category, but don't ask me when he played. I have no idea. I was too busy. Corea went and got me a paper towel, and I was wiping my feet because I was like, I'm really gonna hurt myself if we do win. And yeah, but before they announced us, I looked at Charlton, and Charlton looked at me and said, you know, he was nervous. I was like, we made it this far.
Right. Right. I mean, just being nominated, like, you know, as somebody who, you know, grew up doing music, like, and loving music, like, you always talk about, like, what does that moment be like? Like, if they ever, like, called my name, like, just be nominated, I'd be like, whoa, did that, wins, and, like, y'all won one, like, and to think about your journey, you know, from, working, in local music to, traveling and doing music, traveling with Clay and Kelly. And then to see that you won, I felt a specific amount of pride to seeing y'all win. One, because I mean, y'all Low Country, so gang, y'all already know what that is. But like I remember, and I have to tell the story. I think I've inboxed you the story once, but I remember, I can't remember how long ago it was. It was a long time ago because I think I was either still in high school. I just came home from the Army, and I went to the Dorchester County, the Charleston County Library on Dorchester Road, and you were performing with a band in the library, and I came with somebody who was a special invited guest, and I watched you sing, and I said, "This lady is so good," and they were like, "She was on American Idol," and I was like, "Oh, wow, okay, so that's what like professional quality sounds like." Because you hear people singing in church, no shade, and you hear that kind of stuff, but to hear what you were was something different. And so even at such a young age, to hear you and to hear what you to see you on that on that platform winning that Grammy, I felt a personal amount of pride. So I wanted to tell you how proud I was of you at that moment.
I remember that was Gerald Moore. He his library off of Dorchester Road, and I think that was part of North Charleston Cultural Arts, or maybe
yes.
Yeah, that was a while ago. I think Richard White was on keys, and I can't remember who else. But wow, that was even before Kiana Parlour and Friends.
Yeah, you were amazing. Like you were amazing. I've even caught you a couple times at Wild Wings when you were there. Like I don't really go into Wild Wings a whole lot, but if I saw your sign up, I try to go in. But I'm not the kind of like wait after the show like, hey, I really love all your music. But I knew one day I'd have an opportunity to just tell you how much I appreciate you.
Thank you. We felt like the Grammy win was for home. It wasn't just about us, because everybody's been on this journey with us for so long and so supportive. It wasn't just a win for Ranky Tanky, it was a win for all of us. Because the Gullah community has never been acknowledged or recognized by the Academy. So this was us making history as well. Like, we finally got them to recognize our culture and our people and the music, because we were up last year, but we didn't make it to that final point. And all things happen for a reason. Trying to put in the right category. Roots music, that's what we are. The root to all music. So it was even better for us. Like this is what's supposed to happen. So so it was for Charleston too, not just for us. So thank you.
Absolutely. So what's next for Ranky Tanky?
Oh God. Ranky Tanky's been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, politics, and I think I've written I've come up with 16 songs since the pandemic. I don't know when we'll start recording again, because this album, Good Time, still has a lot of life in it, and we're just getting back on the road. We were blessed that our dates were rescheduled to next year, and we started back this year some, but that's a blessing, because a lot of people lost work, but we were still working behind the scenes and doing stuff virtually, and it's been a blessing. Actually, to backtrack, our manager that we have now was actually, I don't know if that's what was a Kelly, but she's manager on the road. So we were Red Light Management, and Vanessa is our manager. So I've known Vanessa since I've been on the road with Clay. So we got a new manager, and things are just happening. But on a lot of things, it sucks that we can't even discuss until it happens. But we're not just sitting home doing nothing. That's a blessing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So are you working on anything individual? Are you just are you good with working within the group? Because we don't have groups anymore. I was thinking about this, like in the 90s we had so many like R&B groups, and like now we don't have groups because everybody is a solo artist. So y'all are good being Ranky Tanky and rolling as Ranky Tanky, because individually y'all are powerhouses on your own.
Yeah, Charles has an amazing album. Quentin has his thing going, and Clay has his other band, and I'm a full-time mom. Like, that's my full-time job. And if something happens solo-wise, fine. But I don't like to force anything. I believe if it was meant to be, if it's meant to happen, it'll all fall in place and it'll happen. But you know, I'm busy doing, you know, for me, my role in Ranky Tanky is a little different. You know, I gotta take care of myself physically because if I can't sing, then what's gonna happen? You know, that's why I go out. I don't do the extra stuff. I try to limit my outside gigs because it takes a toll with traveling, flying, and performing. You know, that's a lot on me because for me physically, vocally in this band, it's a harder push than any other group that I've been in. So I rest a lot. A whole lot. Yeah. I was
also that
for 2 weeks straight, even before the pandemic. So that's just true.
but it's also that balance though, like that we talked about earlier, in terms of like the fact that, you know, the male is like he's like the calmer sound and you're like the push, so you don't get the time to pull back and do that. So I definitely understand like what the toll that can take on your voice for sure. So if all goes, you know, the way, you know, you guys have career full of, you know, accolades and, you know, it's all said and done, what are people saying about Ranky Tanky, you know, in 10, 15, 20 years? What are they saying about the group?
We made history.
I
think we're talking about that. I'm the first Black female vocalist from Charleston to win a Grammy. Or was it the pop singer? She was killed in a plane crash from here. It's Charlton's friend. He went to school with her. But I think we talked about that. Like, we're still trying to break down barrier walls, but there's still walls we're still trying to break down and get people to understand what it is that we do. You know, a lot of people don't know what gullah is. They call it goulash, they call it gula, or we've heard gullah pronounced so many wrong ways. But they know kumbaya, you know, kumbaya, and kumbaya for us, and kumbaya for them, and you know, so we're broadening their mindset is so much more beyond kumbaya. And you know, we do have a school program that we do. So when we're on the road, we're also going into these schools teaching.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing colleges and we're doing elementary, doing middle and high school. We're working during the day as well to you know, enlighten these people about the Gullah culture. So
nice.
Yeah, you know, it's been a blessing. I don't know, 10, 15 years, I just wanted people to remember us. We made history.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, I also know that, you know, you sort of achieved that success. You know, we got a lot of young kids that, you know, aspire to this thing. We got a lot, especially artists in the local community who are, you know, performing locally. What words of wisdom do you have for those people, you know, as they're, you know, making that journey and may not be achieving that level of success that you've achieved, you know, but are still trying to make their way through? Do you have any words of advice for them?
Don't rush it. I didn't get my first record deal until 4 years ago, and I'm 40 years old now.
Wow.
We didn't sign our first record deal until 4 years ago with Resilience Music Alliance, and that was a blessing within itself as well. Don't rush the process. I know it seems like, oh, things are not happening, you know, and then just let go and allow it to happen. You know, don't force it. Don't try to force it. Once you start trying to force things, it does not work. Like, even when on stage, I don't force it. We just let it happen and we leave it on the stage afterwards. There's no coming back, especially in live music. You cannot redo what you just did. And we just don't force it. We have a good time and just allow things to happen. Like, who would have ever thought that Terry Gross from NPR would have Fresh Air would have picked us up? Who would have ever thought Al Roker would have seen us in the Garden and Gun magazine and picked us up for the Today Show? I've done all these shows with all these other artists, but never as a main act for myself. So never in a million years would I think this would happen. I didn't even know the name of Ranky Tank, the band, until we got on stage one night, at first night downtown for the Christmas tree lighting, and it was me, Charlton, and Clay. And they said, up next is Ranky Tanky. And me and Charlton was like, who is Ranky Tanky?
Y'all gotta get better at recognizing y'all stuff.
He was like, that's us. I was like, what? I was like, well, he's always been good with coming up with different names. He has a band called Matuto, and but we didn't find out the name of Ranky Tanky until we performed our first show as a trio here in Charleston. It was like, Ranky Charles was like, Ranky Tanky, what? And then he explained to us Ranky Tanky means funky, work it, get funky. So now it makes sense. But that night I was like, Lord have mercy.
Ranky Tanky.
So, it all makes sense now.
Nice. Now I have to ask her one more piece of advice because I have a daughter.
Okay.
My daughter is 13 years old, and I have another daughter who is 16 years old, and they're aspiring singers. And we are in the era of like Black girl magic. Can you talk about what it is to be a Black female, going through these things and things that they can maybe some nuggets of wisdom that they could use in their journey, whether they make it in music or not?
Number one, respect for yourself. As a woman, as a Black woman, and speaking up and standing up for yourself. That's very important in this business because you can get overpowered and overshadowed by just the male presence, and just men in general. I've always been surrounded by men because I've been the female vocalist in the band, but there's boundaries and there's, things that you don't do, and there's a way you carry yourself as a woman and a female in this industry, like there's even times on the road now where we come back from the stage, the band, they go out and they like to drink wine. I don't drink wine. I think it's nasty. And I let them go have their man time, and I go to my room.
Mm-hmm.
It's just boundaries and just respect for yourself as a Black woman, and make sure that you are respected as a Black woman and not being called the B word because you are vocal and you know what you want. Yeah. Because I'm not quiet at all when it comes to my business. The business side, that's a whole nother side of me. Do not make my money, but you have to speak up without being, respect is number one. Respect for yourself and respect for others, and maintain clean, positive relationships in this industry. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
As a parent, don't be a stage dad.
I'm not.
Okay. Don't force parents forcing their kids and like, my baby can sing. Come on, sing, baby. And the baby.
Come on, Sunshine.
Yeah.
Little Miss Sunshine. Remember Little Miss Sunshine on in Living Color? Come on, Sunshine. No, that's not me. Now, what I do tell my kids is if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it right. You're gonna practice, you're gonna perfect your craft, and you're gonna go out there and give it your all. But don't be embarrassing me, because I'm not the dad that's gonna tell you that you're dope when you're not.
And don't hurt their feelings, but you don't want to discourage them.
No, don't discourage them.
This is a new, different generation, these kids. I got one of my 14-year-old Lord. He plays the drums in the church. Mm-hmm. He's taking piano lessons. Then he wanted to play the bass, and he took the bass apart. So I guess we're over that for now. He loves soccer. He loves baseball. He's just well-rounded. And I don't force anything on him. Right. Especially in music. If he wants to do that, that's fine. He got his little beat machine and MIDI thing up there, and that's he makes his rap videos. I don't like this new rap music, but I'm learning to like it because of him. Yeah. And I learned, like, he's like, my music is the old style music to him. Mm-hmm. You know? But then I hear him listening to some of the stuff that I like from back in the day. So we don't force it at all in here. Yeah. That's
absolutely where I live. Like, I'm just like, if you're gonna do it, let's do it right. Yeah. But I'm not, hey, me and my wife have five kids. We have 4 girls and a boy. Okay. And like, I let them pick their path, and I'm like, do whatever you want. If you want to be a janitor, then shoot, let's be the best janitors we can possibly be.
Company.
Yeah, whatever it takes. But I want you to be, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, I'm good. Yeah. And I think that's the best thing that we can do as parents is let them, set their own journey and just support them in it. So I encourage your son. I was supposed to meet your son.
Yes, I still want you to meet my son.
I still want to meet your son, so we got to set that up.
Your intake, because I'm on the road.
Yeah, I know, but we have one in January. I'll talk to you.
Okay,
yes, we'll talk about that offline. But before we close, any parting thoughts, anything that you want to put out there that we may not have covered?
Oh, I love my party band. I still have my party band. I still do weddings here. Okay. I advertise it, but my planners know if they call and I'm available, I still do my weddings. That's my passion here, because I get to play with with my guys that I've been with for so long, I've known so long. We have a musical connection, that a bond that I can't even describe. Now, I would love to do an album with them, and who knows, we may do it one day, but it would be with originals. But I love those guys, you know, Stephen Washington, JT Robinson, Bonnie, and Boo, and CL, all those
monsters. Monsters.
So we have a good time on stage. Yeah.
Y'all forgot Steven played with y'all.
Yeah, Steven's my MD, actually. Yeah.
I just saw Steven play.
So, you know.
I just saw Steven play the Manny Houston show Friday night. Man, listen, that dude there. Oh my God, he's ridiculous. But like that, your entire band is nuts, though. Like I already told you, I'm a fan. I'm not gonna be on here standing in front of all of America. You know, I'm not gonna be standing. But I am a fan, and also, so I have to ask you this: has the rate gone up since the Grammy? we can't get Kiana. We can't get Kiana Parler and friends for the pre-Grammy rate. Is that the case?
You know, I'm a nice individual.
Yeah.
I don't respect COVID. You know, I can stay home and save money and do nothing. I will sit right in this house and do nothing.
Hey, understand, y'all. Hey, game done changed.
It's okay to be a musician and still work full time and make money doing what you love to do. A lot of people can't say that. And I've been blessed. The band has been blessed. You know, they've toured. They're doing amazing things outside of Kiana Parlour and friends, and I'm so happy and proud of them. But you know, we still play together. And Charlton, I can thank Charlton for that too, because he has his tribute shows. We just had one a few weeks ago. It was great at the music hall. Yeah.
I gotta check the next thing y'all do, man. Because did you do I don't think you were in Love and Southern Comfort. Black Diamond. I know Z was in it.
I don't know. That was Andrina. Yeah.
Yeah, Z and Black Diamond was in that one too. Christian was in that one. Yeah. But please, next time you're on something, next time you have any of those shows or anything like that, let me know. And I'd love we could come on and talk about it. Or you know, just send me a flyer and I'll be glad to share it out. But I want to support you. Like I told you, I'm a fan. Like real life. This is not some like TV. I am such a big fan. Like no, I'm telling you, I've followed you and I've really enjoyed watching your journey. And I'm praying for your continued success because you are such a great representative of what our city has to offer in terms of talent, in terms of professionalism, in terms of longevity. And I just want to continue to see that flower blossom for you.
And
any closing thoughts?
We're tapping into the Columbia market. We're going to be at Chase Lounge in February, Kiana Parlour and friends. And we're also going to be at Middle Sea Jazz Club, I think it's in March, in Charlotte.
Okay.
In March, yeah. So and I'm also at the Jazz Corner on Hilton Head Island every other Wednesday night. And I've been there for a few months, and I love my family at the Jazz Corner. Like that, that drive is nothing for me now. I love them. Yeah, so that's a really good place to see me do straight ahead jazz music. Yeah.
So you get your Ella Fitzgerald bag?
I'm doing honeysuckle rolls. I'm doing all my standards. Yeah.
Okay, come through.
Go back to my basics, the real jazz book 101. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on. You didn't have to do this. I reached out and you said yes, and I'm so grateful and thankful that you did that. Thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, any parting thoughts before I go? I want to make sure I give you a chance to say parting thoughts.
No, I'm ready for distinguished gentlemen. You know, Dennis Green is my first cousin.
Yes.
His mom and my dad are sisters and brothers. So whenever y'all got time, I'm dropping my boy off.
Yeah. Hey. So yeah, we have open enrollment in January. I will inbox you that information because we're working on some stuff, and I may ask a favor, but I'll ask offline because I don't want to be told no on camera. And it's really rude to ask somebody to do something on camera, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, but what it is, don't set me up.
No, I never set you up ever. Ever. But I am working on something that I could use some help with. But I want to put it out there later. And Dennis said, "Hey, cousin." He said, "Hey, cousin." All right, right. All right, thank you so much for joining me, Miss Kiana Parlour. Oh, if they want to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
Oh yeah, Kiana Parlour on Instagram, Q Parlour on, I think it's Q Parlour on Twitter, and follow Ranky Tanky Music on Instagram. We need more followers on Instagram. We got thousands, over 15,000 followers on Facebook, but we need more followers on Instagram. Ranky Tanky Music, and there's a TV show that's coming up. I think this week. Is it Thursday? But the announcement hasn't been made yet, so stay tuned for that. And I'm also the theme song on the ESPN show, True South. Quentin and I, we have a song that's being played on there. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so just keep checking around. We got some stuff happening. Yeah.
And when can we expect another album?
I don't know. Ask COVID.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Had to ask.
He's in New York. He's not here. He's in New York. He flies in, and yeah, we started working on some songs though, and I'm excited about what we have been working on, but we haven't gotten to the studio. I'm sure the label would love for us to get to that, but COVID.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. You get a Grammy out of one, they're like, "Yo, give us another one."
Oh, I have my Grammy here. What?
Oh, Grammy! We get to see a Grammy. Oh, this is dope, man. Listen, the first. Can we hold on? What am I? Yes, we got the Grammy. So this will be the photo that we're gonna use for the cover. Like Kiana and the Grammy. Listen, we got our first real talk. I feel like it's both our Grammy. I feel like
that's right.
Yeah, because it's my first one too. So like the first one is one of my shows. So it's like both of ours. You just keep it at your house.
Yeah, I'll babysit it.
You babysit it until next time. All right, thank you so much, Kiana. Make sure you check out Ranky Tanky if you have not checked out the Ranky Tanky album. Both Ranky Tanky and Good Time. That's the name of the two albums, right?
Yeah, and they were competing on the charts together a few months ago. Ranky Tanky, Good Time was 1 and Ranky Tanky was 2. So we were competing together like 4 years later. So we've been blessed.
Listen, man, go check them out. Check out the album. If you find out they're performing once COVID's over, check them out. You want to hear them. You want to hear the sound. You want to really be able to engage the music that they have. Thank you to Kiana Parlour. Check out Kiana and Friends. If they're in your local area, near or far, then you need to go check them out. If you do not have Kiana Parlour and Friends or Ranky Tanky coming to your city, you should be inboxing people who own venues and asking them, why ain't y'all bringing Ranky Tanky and Kiana Parlour and Friends to our city?
Right.
You know, because I'm pretty sure you can use that kind of musical influence. And with that being said, I'm gonna end my show. Thank you to Kiana. You are dope. You're an amazing person, and just having the opportunity to sit down and talk to you for this last hour has been amazing. I've become an even bigger fan, but like I said, I'm not gonna stand on camera because it looks bad for black men to do that. But thank you. Thanks everybody for watching. Remember that Real Talk with ReZsaun Local Celebrity Spotlight happens every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. I am not doing a show until 2021. So we closed out with a bang. We got our first Grammy at the end 2020. Not a bad way to end the year. But next year we're coming back with all new guests, all new topics, all new hotness and dopeness, and I'll still be the host because my name is on the logo. Now, if they change the logo, then by all means, I won't be the host. But please come back. In the meantime, please follow me on everywhere social media related: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. No, I'm not on Twitch. Why did I say Twitch? Periscope, Twitter. And my podcast can be found anywhere you can find podcasts. Follow me, leave a review if you like the show. Let me know why you liked it. If you didn't like it, let me know why you didn't like it, because I always want to get better too. If you want me to come out and speak at your event, I am a public speaker as well. I'd love to come out and speak at your event. Go to my website, www.realtalkwithrezaun.com. If you'd like to be a guest, please go to www.realtalkwithrezaun.com and let's discuss anything on the show. And in closing, always remember, God is everything, and without him, we are nothing. So never forget where your help comes from. And if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Now that, as they say, is real talk. I will see y'all in 2021. Peace.
Peace.